I'm Dr. Amy Gelmi, and I'm a senior research fellow at RMIT University, where my research kind of covers a lot of multidisciplinary aspects. And so I use a bit of science, a bit of engineering, and a bit of biology to explore how we can use external physical stimulation to control or guide stem cell fate for tissue engineering. We use a lot of really cool techniques. We use kind of small scale culture devices that we make in-house. And we also do a lot of bioatomic force microscopy to study the cells as they respond in real time. The aspect of my research that I'm most proud of is how I've kind of managed to combine all my different interests to carve out a pretty unique niche of research, I think. So what we're working with, we work with some conductive polymer biomaterials. So a lot of my biomaterials research kind of falls into that way, working with human mesenchymal stem cells and see how they interface with that. But then also we get to bring in some engineering and fabrication to make our devices and to create totally new ways of studying how the cells respond to things and solving a lot of the problems in the lab about how to address these questions in a way that we can actually get useful results. And combining that again with our atomic force microscopy is really cool. So it's this real interface of problem solving and custom fabrication and interesting stem cell biology with biomaterials. And I feel like I feel very proud of the fact I've managed to combine all my great loves of science into one research platform and kind of found this place within the field of tissue engineering that I feel like I can call my own a little bit. Because it's just such a random assortment of different applications. So where I'd like to see my research go in the future, I suppose it would be, what I would really like to be able to do is to almost upscale it, get a bit more high throughput analysis of what we're doing, and to be able to create or fabricate some devices that we can start to use in clinical applications for testing people's stem cells across a variety of different external stimuli. So I'm very much a fundamental researcher, and while that's where my interest really lies, is understanding that real fundamental aspect of how the stem cells respond, it would be great if we can continue to push and kind of start to reach a bit more of that translation, a bit more of that clinical application, and actually start to use our work to help guide tissue engineering to more successful outcomes in the clinic. So my involvement with the ASBTE has been since, I think, about 2019. So when I was actually did my PhD in Australia, I wasn't in the realm of biomaterials and tissue engineering, so to speak. And I kind of developed that research expertise overseas. So when I came back to Australia, I remember I looked up, I was like, who should I talk to? Who are the people who are doing this work in Australia? And I came along to an ASBTE event. I think it was a strategy day in Sydney. And I met all these wonderful people who I got to know and start to collaborate with and talk with. And I've been involved since then and really enjoyed it. And kind of through volunteering and helping with a lot of the ECR activities, especially during the lockdowns, I was very delighted and surprised to receive the Emerging Leadership Award from the ASBTE this year in 2022. And that was just really lovely. And I went very many shades of red when I was awarded that at the conference dinner. And it's just kind of really helped me think about how much I want to continue to support the ASBTE and some of the other ways that we can do that, especially with our ECRs and our PhD students, especially coming out of COVID, and other ways to kind of contribute to the society and continue to develop it into a really strong platform for biomaterials and tissue engineering research in Australia. So something that people might be surprised to learn about me is that I'm very good at mini golf, and I take it very seriously and competitively. And if you challenge me at mini golf, I will take you up on it and I'll beat you. And I suppose the other skill that I have, that maybe it's because of a lot of the AFM, poking things with tiny sharp objects. I really enjoy doing cross-stitching as well as knitting and crocheting, but cross-stitching I always find really fun because you can make a lot of really personalized designs and details. And so I've made a lot of gifts in the past for colleagues and friends, usually in jokes or personal things. And it's just something that I really enjoy. You can see some of my handiwork behind me, actually, some animals that I've made with the cross-stitching, but I guess it takes a lot of patience and a lot of precision to just stab something over and over again. So it can be quite cathartic as well. So it's a good hobby to have if you just want to zone out and create something pretty. If I wasn't in the field of biomaterials and tissue engineering, growing up, I actually really wanted to be a veterinarian, but I don't think I would be a veterinarian still now, after knowing what I know. I think I'd still be in science, maybe something to do with geology, or so I really enjoy rocks and being outdoors. But maybe it's because now I work near museums. I work near Melbourne Museum. It's just up the road from RMIT. When I was at Imperial College London, we were right next to the Natural History Museum, and I always thought it would be an amazing job to be one of like the analytical chemists or something who was working on the samples in there and getting to X-ray mummies or test the materials of random artifacts. I think would be very cool. So yeah, maybe like a paleontology analytical chemist might be where I would end up. So I'm drinking a French press long black. When I'm at home, I always drink black coffee, maybe because from my student days, I couldn't afford to keep milk in the fridge long enough. It would always go bad before I used it all, because I don't like cow's milk. But if you catch me on campus, I'll pretty much always have an oat milk cappuccino. So that's my coffee order if you're going to bring me a coffee at work. And it's been lovely chatting to everybody and letting you know what I'm up, and have a good rest of your day.